When I showed you my planner lineup in October, these are the 8 planners that I talked about, and sometime in the process between then and the end of December, these ones also came into the picture. Hey everyone, I'm Lauren from My Something Beautiful Life, and since it's now the beginning of January, I thought I would do kind of an updated planner lineup. There's a few things that have changed, obviously, and yeah, 12 planners is way too much. That's how many is sitting right here in front of me. I'm absolutely not using all of these for the year. If you are somebody that can keep track of 12 planners, I applaud you. That is too much for my brain. As much as I like multiple planners, I can't do 12. So we're going to talk about all that. And also keep in mind, I am fully aware that not everybody can use multiple planners. I am somebody who can, although I do still tend to get overwhelmed, but we're going to talk about that. So first of all, let's move these again out of the way, and we'll talk about the ones that I had already mentioned before in my last planner lineup, and just a little bit about if that's going to continue working or what I'm changing there. Okay, so this is my on-the-go folio from Erin Condren, and I have 3 petite planners in here. This is the same as what I showed before, well, at least the interior is. I have my project notebook and the wellness log, and then, meal planner, wellness log, project notebook. And then this is exactly the same. I didn't change it at all. It just has some stickers in it and some little decorations. And anyway, the only thing I changed was the outside cover. And I just thought this one was really pretty for January. It kind of reminds me of like ice or snow, just the pretty sparkly blue. And since we don't get snow here, I thought I would try to channel all of the winter vibes that I could. So I'm going to use this cover for January and the foreseeable future. We'll see. I'll change it whenever I feel like it. I have tons of covers that I love, and so I do like to switch between them every once in a while. So anyway, this is the same, but as I mentioned in my last video, this is not something I use regularly. In fact, if you looked at the video about my 2023 planners and what worked there and what didn't work, what I talked about was that for the meal planner and the wellness planner, the areas of life that they cover, I just did not make a priority, and so I did not use them consistently. But that is no fault of the planner itself. I just wasn't meal planning and I wasn't tracking my wellness. And so when I do those things, these will be the planners that I use for that. So that is staying in my lineup, but it's not something that I'm actively using right now, but it's still just around. The next one that we have here, this is my MäksēLife monthly planner. So it's not the flagship, it's not a weekly planner, it just has the goal setting pages and then a few notes pages in it. I'm absolutely using this. I've done all my goals in it for the coming year, and I've done my vision board, which I will show you because I absolutely love it. I did the compass. Let's see. Okay, here's my vision board, which I'm super happy with. I just love it. So if you want me to talk more about my goals, let me know in the comments. I've been debating if that would be a good video to do or not. Part of it is I don't really share my goals much, and so I just didn't know if anybody actually cared. So if you do want to see more about goal setting, or tell me what you want to know, do you want to know the process or just what my goals are? I don't know. Tell me what you want to know about goal setting and I can do a video about that. But anyway, yes, this is my goal planner and I'm very much using this. In fact, this is probably the one that I've spent the most time in so far this year already. That's because I did a ton of work in it. Well, I wouldn't say this year. I did a ton of work in it in December so that I would know exactly my direction for 2024. So this one is getting good use already. The next one that we have here is the Becoming Planner. So I did a whole video about this, and I didn't even mention it in my review of my 2023 planners because I only used it for a month. This is one I'm kind of torn on. I really love the planner. I think it has so many good things in it, but this is one of those planners that was kind of overwhelming me. If this was your only planner, if you actually did use this as your normal day-to-day planner, I think this would be really awesome. And for those that don't know, it's more of a faith-based planner, so it has a lot of guided sections like that. I absolutely love it, but it was almost just too much for me right now, and so I'm kind of putting it on the shelf for a while, and we'll see where I go with it. It is undated, so I just did that 1 month and then I didn't continue it in December. So I can pick it up again anytime I just feel the need. But for now, I'm just kind of holding off, especially just being the new year. I always tend to get a little bit more overwhelmed with my planning right at the beginning. I think it has something to do with just getting used to new planners, even if it's the same planner brand and layout that I've used before. It's just always a little harder to get into the swing of a new planner. And I do have some brand new planners this year that I have not used before, and so I'm still trying to get used to those too. And so this was just becoming a little too much. So I'm gonna hold off on this one for now, and then we'll see how it goes in the future. I really would like to pull it out again because I think there's so much good in here. But for now, this one is not going to stay in my lineup. All right, and then the last one that we have for this side of the planner stack is my Passionate Penny Pincher Home Planner. This one I am working to use. I'm going to film a setup video for this, actually probably in just a little bit after I do this video, because I want to show you exactly what I'm doing with it. I do plan to somewhat use this as it's set up, but I also plan to tweak it a little bit too. If you are familiar with Fly Lady, I'm kind of turning this into a type of control journal with a lot of reference information and stuff like that in it too. So I'm really excited to see how it turns out. I've got all my pages ready to go. So I'm not going to explain much about how I'm going to use it right now because honestly there's like not much in here right now to show you. But even so far, I mean, what is it, the third today? I have already used this planner. So I'm hopeful that this one will stick this year just because I am using it in a different way than I have in the past. It did not work for me last year, but that was because I tried to use it as a weekly planner and I already had like a bazillion other weekly planners. Okay, I had one that I was actively using, but I did not need another weekly planner. So I'm using this almost in the way that you would use a budget planner, like it's more of an isolated planner. So anyway, we'll talk more about that later, but I'm really excited for it and it seems like it's working already. All right, and then for this half, I'm actually going to, let's rearrange a little bit. So again, these are the ones that I've already talked about. I didn't show this one in my original planner lineup video because I hadn't ordered it yet, but it's here now and I did talk about it. This is an Erin Condren monthly planner. So it has, you know, the regular calendar, the dashboard, and then just some notes pages. And this is my content planner. I'm still kind of in that weird like holiday transition mood. And so I haven't done a whole lot in here yet, but I'm beginning to get it set up and just get things switched over from my 2023 version. Just get all my notes moved over. So this one I'm sure will be fine. It's staying in my lineup. But this is the perfect example of having like a transition period between planners because I'm still trying to get this one set up and functional. But it's the exact same thing that I've been using for years. So it's not like a learning curve of how to use it, except for actually this page, because this page is different than what I've had before. So that's a little bit of an adjustment. But honestly, I didn't use that page a whole lot to begin with in the past. So we'll see how it goes. But in general, it's the same. And so I still plan to use this. All right, and this is my budget planner. This is from Happy Planner. And I think this is going to work really well. I'm super excited for it. I actually haven't done any budgeting in it yet. I should get paid in a couple days and then I'll do it then. But so far, I'm really liking it. I think it's going to work well. I am customizing this one and I can't wait to show it to you. I still have a couple more pages to print out and then put everything together, but I will definitely show you this one as soon as I get it set up. And then the last two that we have here are like my normal planners. I know a lot of people like to call them catch-all planners, and so I kind of default to that, even though I kind of don't like the term because if it was a catch-all planner, then I wouldn't have like a whole nother stack of planners back there. But this is my daily planner. This is from Erin Condren. It's the Daily Duo, so this is 6 months of the year. It goes until June. And then this is a Happy Planner. So this one, I really haven't done anything with it yet. I don't think I've written in it at all. And so like I've mentioned before, I give myself a lot of grace when it comes to using both a daily and a weekly planner. I often won't use them both at the same time. And so since we're only a few days into the year anyway, this just isn't one that's gotten any use yet. I have been using this one a little bit though. I'm still kind of in that holiday mood where like life's just not normal yet. I don't go back to work until next week, and so everything's still just a little weird. But I have been in this one a little bit, and this one is here when I'm ready for a daily planner. So for the most part, this one is the same. Actually, if you saw my setup video of this planner, then there's a lot of it that is the same. But the way that this is different from when I talked about it in my original lineup video is that in the back of it, there is a second planner, which normally I can't do this. I've tried to do like the Happy Planner, Franken Planner before, and I always tend to forget something. So this is kind of an experiment to see how it goes. If it doesn't work in the back of this planner, I will put it back in its original one. But for now, it's just hanging out in the back. I only have 1 month in here, and then I have like my notes pages in the back. But it's actually working so far. I mean, I'm 2 days in and I remembered to fill it out. So that's a definite win in my book. Other than that, I'm keeping this planner pretty simple. This is the dashboard layout. And so you have the monthly calendar, and then I love this page for just weekly planning, and then I can just fill in anything that's going on here. So I'm still really excited about this. It hasn't been long enough to know for sure whether it's going to work fully, but so far so good. And yeah, I'm sure I will keep you updated as it goes along. But yes, there is the second planner in the back of that, which brings me to the stack. So this is one of the other ones I got, but I have been using this as kind of a reflection planner. So in here, it has these 3 sections. So it has how I'm feeling. This says daily tasks and to-dos, but I am using it for self-care, like what did I do for self-care that day? And then checking in with myself, which is just like a little journaling thing. Like I'm pretty much following the prompt of checking in with myself. And that's how I've been doing it. So it's just a short little reflection every night. And so far so good. I mean, I managed to do it for the past 2 nights, so we'll see if I can keep up with it. Sometimes I struggle with all of like the daily reflection at the end of the night type of things. So we'll see, but I'm really excited about it, and I think it will be really good to look back on, and that makes me want to keep going too. So it is kind of a separate planner, but I have incorporated it into this one. So it's just like one planner that I look at and it's all together. But yeah, it's technically 2 planners. Or more of a journal, since I'm not really planning anything in it. It is just reflection. So there's that one. And then here are the other 3 that I mentioned. So just because I got all of these planners, or I mean this one I already had. I've had this one since May or April, whenever our Life Planner launch was. I was gifted this one from Erin Condren as part of that, but I thought of something that it might be useful for. But anyway, let's start on the top. So this is by a company called Bujo. This was also gifted to me, and I absolutely love it. So it is a bullet journal, but all of the pages are pre-drawn out. And so if you're somebody who struggles with like the creativity aspect of bullet journals, I mean, I know technically bullet journals don't have to be creative, but this is kind of what we think of when we think of bullet journals. I personally actually really love the original version of bullet journaling too. Just the whole bullet journal system I love. But anyway, I've always thought these were so pretty, but I am not the type of person that could draw out something like this. And so I love that this is like already done for you, and it's so pretty. What I'm doing with this, let's see if I can get to, okay, so here's the beginning of February. So there's the monthly calendar. I'm using the monthly calendar for gratitude. I'm just writing something every night that I'm thankful for. And I fill out this planner at the same time I'm filling out this one. So I kind of do them both together. And then I do have the habit tracker for a couple things. I only have 2 for January that I'm filling out. And then there's also the mood tracker that I can fill out. Then in the weekly section, I'm actually using this as kind of a journal sort of thing, but I'm not like journaling. And I talked more about this in the video where I flipped through this planner and showed it to you originally. And so if you haven't seen that, you can go check it out right up here. But I want this to be kind of a memory book from throughout the year. So in here, I just want to put something positive. I want to think about all of the good things from this year and At the end of the year, I want to just have a book full of positive thoughts and all of the highlights from the year, things like that. But other than that, there's no real rules. It just has to be positive. No complaining in here. That's something I'm really trying to focus on this year. I've just noticed how I am just complaining way too much. And I'm using this as a way to focus on the good things that are happening. So if I have a goal that I reached, or a favorite quote, a happy memory from the day, or just a win, something that I'm proud of that I accomplished, that all goes in here. And then at the end of the year, I can look back at this and just see all of the good things that happened throughout the year. So I'm really excited. So far, it's going really well and I love it. And I can't wait to see the whole thing all filled out. The one thing that is sad about this is that over the past like month or so, I think they're almost all sold out. They might have a few left. So if this is something that you're interested in, I would go check it out as soon as you can, because last time I saw there were only like 2 versions left or something like that. A lot of the colors are all sold out. The green is sold out, and I'm not sure when they're going to get another like set of planners in. So if you do like this, then I would go check really quickly, because it may not be there for very long. In fact, I can't even guarantee it's there right now. Anyway, this one I'm just loving so far. I think it's going to be a really nice keepsake at the end of the year. All right, this next one that we have, this is an Erin Condren Life Planner, and this is the regular vertical weekly layout, and it's in the Inspire design, which I think is really pretty. Oh, I started writing in there, or making notes. I guess it's all post-it notes. Anyway, what I was thinking about using this one for is to go along with my content planner. Sometimes I need a weekly layout for all things that go along with my content planner. And I don't really like to put those types of things in my normal weekly planner. Especially there are some things that I wanted to schedule out far in advance. And so I was just trying to think of a way to do that. So if I decide to do that, this will be the planner I use for it. I even considered uncoiling my monthly and adding in some of the weekly pages, like maybe doing it 6 months at a time. I don't know if I'll go that far, but it was just something I thought of. And at this point, I'm not using this one at all. Again, it was just something that I was considering because it might work. So this is around if I need it. But as of right now, I'm not really doing anything with it. If I find that I need the extra room, then I will be using this one at some point. And then this is the last one that I acquired. I bought this one on Black Friday, or I should say during the Black Friday sale, because it was earlier than actual Black Friday. And I did do a video flipping through this too. And this is the Family Organizer book, which I really love this. It's got so many interesting, like, structured pages throughout it. I thought it would make a really cool, actually kind of like a catch-all planner, kind of just putting in a lot of like random miscellaneous things to keep track of, to-do lists and plans and projects, things like that. But as of right now, I can't really think of a specific way I want to use it, and so I'm just putting it on hold for right now. If I get to a point, like in a few months or so, when I do need something like this, which sometimes I get to that way around February or March, I need to shake things up a little bit, then this is here and I might try it out. But this isn't something I'm going to actively be using right now. So it's just going to go on the shelf and it will be there if I need it later. So when we look at like my whole planner lineup, I know this isn't all of them right now, but with what I started with and what I have now, I'm actually like not adding too much to it. I technically added 2 planners. I added this one and this one. I did remove the Becoming planner, and I'm not actively using the on-the-go folio at the moment, although that is something I definitely plan to focus on in the near future. I'm just not going to worry about it while I'm trying to get used to all of the other new planners that I'm using. So for now, that one's kind of not part of my lineup, but I do plan to use it in the future. And I think that the most important part of all of this is that I always give myself permission to adjust. Having a functional planner system, it's kind of hard to find like the point where it works in the middle between too much and too little. I know some people operate perfectly with one planner, and to an extent, there's a part of me that envies you because that just sounds so simple and easy. But at the same time, I know my brain well enough to know that there are certain things I need separate planners for. I need a different planner for my content. It won't fit in like my regular weekly planner. I need another planner for my budget. That's something that I've learned it needs to be separate. I need to not look at it when I'm not focused on it, but then know exactly where the information is and have it easy to get to. And that's something that I've done for years, and it does work really well for me. Things like the journaling, sometimes these don't work for me and sometimes they work wonderfully. Basically, everything is an experiment. And life changes, seasons change, and sometimes something that was working before won't work anymore. And so I just need the ability to be flexible. And when something doesn't work, then I put it away for a while. And when I need to add something, then I bring something in. But this is my planner lineup video. If you want to see a review of my 2023 planners and what worked and what didn't, you can check out this video right here. But I hope that you have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.